Hey YouTubers, what's happening? I'm getting ready to end an extremely busy week. Hope your week's been more relaxing than mine. Our car got totaled a few weeks ago. So we've been in the process of trying to replace that. Saturday we spent all day looking at cars. Sunday was Easter. Had the family over. That lasted all day. Monday we looked at cars. Tuesday get my facts straight. Monday we went and looked at cars again and ended up finding one that fit our parameters. Got home pretty late. Tuesday we had to go out to eat with somebody, with our kids. Wednesday took the kids swimming, and then there wasn't much left to Wednesday, actually. My wife had to bring some stuff home and then cooked and organized some stuff. Yesterday, my wife does she's got a couple of jobs. One of them she does mostly from home. Well, one of the people that work at the office called in sick or something, so she had to go in and work that night. So it was just me and the boys. Took them to get something to eat, went shopping, grocery shopping. Today is our anniversary, 16 years. So brother-in-law and sister-in-law are coming over to watch the kids, and we're going to drive out to the coast and eat dinner at a restaurant out there. Tomorrow we're taking the kids to celebrate a little further up the coast to a place. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's called Filoli. It's have a big garden and a big museum kind of place. Kind of a natural, I don't know. I'll see when I get there. Anyway, that's going to take all day. This coming Sunday, we were given tickets to a minor league playoff hockey games. That'll be fun. And then hopefully next Monday I'll be back to normal, whatever normal is. So anyway, tell you about my busy week that you don't care about. I'm smoking some dark, strong Kentucky. I saw something earlier on Facebook, got me to thinking. Somebody posted a video of a well-known commentator debating someone about the pros and cons. That's not a good description of the video, of abortion. Anyway, he made his point, and the comments, of course, ensued on the Facebook post after that. One of the first ones that always pops up in that conversation is his opinion's invalid because he's a man. It started me thinking about arguments, debates, specifically on the internet, but really today in any public forum. My response, which I shouldn't have done, but I did, was either the point is valid or it's invalid, regardless of the sex of the person who makes it. If it's a stupid point, refute it. If it's a valid point, go from there. But it seems like in most conversations, I'll call them conversations instead of what they really are, the course that takes place is someone puts forth a point, and rarely is that point met with a counterpoint. It's usually met with either dispute the source. Well, you saw that on CNN or Fox News, or you saw that on this or that, and I don't trust those sources. Or it's met with refute the messenger. Can't be valid. You're a man. Can't be valid. You're white. That can't be valid. You don't know anything about suffering this particular thing, whatever it may be. Anything from poverty to breast cancer to slavery to abortion, gun control, whatever, anything. You don't know anything about that because you're not personally involved in it. Third thing is just to shout louder, is the usual response. I don't have a point, but I know how to say it really loud. Okay. What's my response to that supposed to be? Speak louder? Are we talking about something, or are we just trying to see who can yell the loudest? Fourth thing is to personally attack someone instead of the ideas that they've put forth. That one gets under my skin. I believe thing A. Well, you're a horrible person. What about thing A? I don't care about thing A, you just suck. Okay. The fifth thing that I see as a response is to try to silence that person. Many ways to do that. We've seen acted out in recent years. Try to dig up dirt on somebody if it's a famous person or a politician, or ruin their credibility, some past indiscretion that has nothing to do with what you're talking about. make something up about them, put it in the media, and once it's there, it's there. You see that in politics a lot. Somebody will say something. I'm just making this completely up, so don't take it as fact. But Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, one of them could have said about the other one, he's a baby killer. Goes all over the Philadelphia Gazette. People are shouting it from horseback as they ride from town to town. Then he gets called out on it, and he makes a retraction. Nobody ever reports the retraction. Nobody ever hears the retraction. It's just that person's a baby killer from that point forward, and they have no, anything they say has no validity. You've effectively silenced them. I think arguing on the internet, I'm going to tone this down. This was a thing I saw one time. I'll put it into different words because it will undoubtedly offend somebody. I don't know if you ever saw the old Monty Python skit from the TV show, the Twit of the Year contest. A bunch of guys running around unable to complete simple tasks like walking a straight line and stepping over a piece of rope laying on the ground and stuff like that. Arguing on the internet is like winning the Twit of the Year contest. You may win, but you're still a twit. I think that's a big part of what I see as the not the downfall, but certainly a downtrend in society, is the inability to have conversation, meaningful conversations on any subject. Any subject. Doesn't matter what you're talking about. Someone's going to argue against it. Some big mess is going to be made out of it. It's gotten to the point that the arguing takes the primary place of the argument. Nothing ever gets done except arguing. If you're losing an argument, if you're losing a debate, the thing to do is not to raise your voice, but to improve your argument. And if you can't improve your argument, then maybe you need to rethink your premise. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of arguments to begin with. They start out with a false premise. Someone can say anything they want and then go from there and wash over the real meat of what it is they're talking about. I mean, you'll hear an argument on, pick a subject, it doesn't matter. Abortion, because that's what I saw earlier. And before that argument gets through, they'll be arguing about the death penalty, they'll be arguing about gun control, they'll be arguing about gender roles, gender identity, all kinds of stuff. Pick something, make your point, and then move on. And if you can't make a point based on the initial argument, then don't join the argument. It saddens me. You look on any kind of social media, pretty much outside of what we're doing, and sometimes you see it in the YTPC. You definitely see it on YouTube, Instagram, whatever. But someone can make a point or post a video or whatever, and there'll be 3,000 comments following it. A few years ago, this is a good point. A few years ago, I made a video as a sarcastic, I don't know if you could call it, I don't know what you want to call it. Anyway, it was a video that was making fun of another video that I saw relating to Common Core and how to solve a simple math problem. And by simple math problem, 9 plus 6 was the example that was used. So I made a video, a tongue-in-cheek video about it, posted it. I didn't have any followers at the time. I only made videos pretty much for my family to see and stuff like that, sent them links to it. I didn't have a public channel. Anyway, I made this one public. And before I took that video down, or closed the comments on it, or locked it, or whatever it was I did, I had 15,000 views and over 100 comments and multiple spite-driven arguments against people, that made comments on it. Somebody else would jump in and attack them and blah, blah, blah. Had multiple comments calling me an idiot, a drug addict, a hater, a fascist. I can't remember all the different things I was called. No one saw that for what it was intended to be, which was humor. And I finally got tired of it, took it down. But it just made made me realize, I guess, at that point, doesn't matter what you say, somebody's going to turn it into something else. My bowl has gone out. Before you comment on this video, if you choose to, I'm not interested in your views on this video anyway. I'm not interested in your views about abortion or gun control or the death penalty or any of that stuff I talked about. I'm simply talking about how people fail to communicate with one another. That's about all I got to say. So you guys have a good weekend. I might do a Top 5 Friday later with a co-host if I can work that out. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Use your heads.